Hello guys, welcome to another episode of this particular video. By name, I am Jafet Okaka Ebosetale. So today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, which is breach of promise to marry. And we are going to be answering some questions relating to this particular topic. Now, number one question we have here, is it enforceable? Is breach of promise to marry enforceable? What are the ground? If actually it is enforceable, what are the ground of enforcing it? What are the remedies? Is it a crime or a wrong? What are the defenses? How about specific performance? Can the court order specific performance? Now, this means that can the court give a particular judgment that the marriage should continue? Now, let's answer this question. The first is it enforceable? Now, you see, marriage is a contract in which the man makes an offer. I want to marry you. That's an offer in this particular instance. And the woman accepts the offer by saying, I accept to marry you. That's have formed a contract. Now, look at what the court said in the case of Azena versus Atta Panikitobi, in which the court stated an agreement or contract to marry is a bilateral affair between a man and a woman, in which both parties must be ad idem. Now, this is what the court said. So, marriage is a contract, and you know, whenever a contract is breached, there must be a remedy. A breach of contracts attracts legal implication, and marriage is not an exception to this. So therefore, marriage is enforceable. Even in the case of Uso versus Ake Tobosin, the defendant promised to marry the plaintiff and subsequently married another person. The court led the defendant liable for breach to contract, and he was to pay damages in that particular instance. So let's answer another question. What are the remedies? Now, the remedies here are damages that were done. Another question is, what are the ground? What are the ground? Now, ground in this particular instance, what are the grounds that you are to sue for breach of promise to marry? Now, looking at this, we can see that you can't just sue for breach of promise to marry. There must be some damages done to you. There must be some damages done to you. This could be reputational damage or monetary damage or emotional damage and many others. Now, reputational damage in this particular instance let me take for example, a popular musician wants to get married to Dangote's son, for example, and you know the public will take this particular news online. The public will take this news, and thereafter, the man, Dangote's son, tells this popular female musician, I'm no longer interested. I don't want to marry you anymore. Now, in that particular scenario, it have caused reputational damage to that popular female musician, because the public will take that news. So it will cause damage to her reputation, to her business. So it will cause reputational damage in that particular instance. So she can sue for breach of promise to marry. Now, on monetary damage, we can see if a man tells a woman, I want to marry you, she accepts, and subsequently the man bought canopy, rented canopy, bought many drink, bought an expensive cake, did many things, bought a gown, bought a suit, and thereafter, few days to the marriage, the woman tells the man, I'm no longer interested. I don't want to marry you anymore. In that particular instance, it have caused monetary damage to the man. So the man can sue for breach of promise to marry. Now, let's answer another question. Is it a crime or a wrong? You see, marriage is under private law. So therefore, it is not a crime. It is not an offense. Marriage, breach of promise to marry, is not an offense done against the state. So it is not a crime. So it is a civil, just a wrong, and not a crime. So let's answer another question. What are the defenses? Now look at it. A sues B for breach of promise to marry. What are the defenses that B can raise? I don't know whether you get it. Okay, let me make it clearer. A tells B, I want to marry you. B accepts. B accepts the marriage. Thereafter, B breaks up with A and B tells A, I'm no longer interested in marrying you. And thereafter, A sued for breach of promise to marry against B. So what are the defenses that B can raise in this particular instance? Now, one defense that B could raise is duress. What does duress means? Is that if A pointed a gun at B and tells B, marry me right now or I'm going to shoot you, and thereafter, due to fear, B accepts, okay, I agree to marry you. So B in that instance can raise the defense of duress. Now another defense that can be raised under incapacity is the defense of insanity. Under incapacity is the defense of insanity, or it can be that this particular man that you want to get married to, or this particular woman you want to get married to, is not capable. He's insane, she's insane. So you can raise the defense of insanity. Even under incapacity, you can say that this particular man you want to get married to is impotent. You can raise that particular defense. So these are the defense you can raise under incapacity. You can raise the defense of incapacity. You can raise the defense of duress, which is by force. You can raise the defense of undue influence, in that when you accepted to get married to this particular man, you were not in your right state of mind. So these are the defense you can raise. Now, let's answer another question. How about specific performance? Now, specific performance means that with the courts, can the court make a judgment? Let this marriage continue. Let this marriage continue. Can the court give that kind of judgment that this marriage must go on? Can the court give that kind of judgment? Now, my humble answer to this is no. The court cannot give such judgment. So, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.